Finally got to the towpath, and it is now tomorrow. So let's get started. 72.8 today. And we're just across from Shepherdstown. So we're going to go downstream, down towards DC area, see how far we get. Maybe we'll get to Swain's Lock today, 60 miles, pretty much. If not, there's plenty of hiker-biker campsites. Let's get rolling. Antietam Creek campsites. These are the paid campsites per night. DriveUp. Most of the hiker-biker campsites are free, but this is one of 5 spots that are DriveUp, and there's a fee. I think $20 a night, unless you're America the Beautiful pass holder or veteran, and then it's 50% off. But you have to book online, reservations.gov or something. Camp host is usually over here during the camping warmer season. This is right around milepost 70. Up here a little bit, you can camp. You can park along the road. As long as you're off the road. It's a nice area. I think it's pretty quiet. Nice view of the river when the leaves aren't on. Antietam Creek campsite. Follow that road, and then up here on the right there's a turnaround area. You can't park there, but it's a turnaround area. This will be coming up to the Antietam Creek Aqueduct, about 69 something. Every once in a while you'll see these paths people have made down to the river. Of course, here you can take the lower side to the aqueduct where the water would have been, or take the high side. But on the high side, dismount and walk your bike across. It's uneven. You don't want to take a chance. Some places are missing some of the surface rock stone, so it's uneven. Even when it was there, the abutments are a little bit uneven too. So it's safe, it's just to walk it across. But here's a view. Potomac River and Antietam Creek coming in. Leaves aren't on the trees, so it's a little better view. And behind me, I gotta keep rolling. Got some miles to make today. It's about 12:30. Got a late start. Finally got down here about noon. After trying for 3 days to get here, my sleep patterns have been messed up. So I'm trying to get to an earlier rise time, get up time. All right, one last look. And here we go. Now Harper's Ferry's next at 60.7. So about 9 miles away. Let's see what I can do here. Make some time up. Talk about my bike for a second. So here's the Priority Current e-bike. I brought the e-bike today because I've been off a bike for a while, so I need a little assistance to get my self going again. So I think they come in handy for that purpose, like a tool in a workshop. So, and then I'll wean off of this one and get on the 680X, the adventure bike. So anyways, this one is the Priority Current bike. I've talked about it a little bit before, but let me go over it real quick again. Today's load is a little bit heavy because I got winter stuff in here, but other than that, I got 2 spare batteries on me today because I'm going a little bit further than I'm used to in some primitive areas down towards DC. The only real charging spot beyond Brunswick, the bike shop, I think would be, of course there's a couple restaurants, but would be down at 14.3 at the visitor center. So hopefully the electric's still on. It should be. They keep that on 24/7. I know, at least the water and bathroom and all. Priority Current e-bike. Got 4 panniers on it. I set a front rack on here from Old Man Mountain, and it has a special through axle where the front rack connects to the through axle. It just bolts on there. So if I had to change the tire, I'd have to unfasten the bottom part of the through axle. And so 4 panniers, and I've got the bigger panniers on here because of the winter temperatures just fluctuating so much. I mean, today's it's almost 60, and it's going to be in the 20s and 30s at night. So need a little bit of extra warmth for gear. Of course, I tent camp, so that adds a little bit. But my tent is and everything. The camping gear, it's under about 7 pounds total. So the heavy part is the extra batteries today. I've got 2 extra batteries. They each weigh about 7.5 pounds. 7.5 pounds. So about 15 pounds extra, just on top of the other stuff I normally take. And I have my cooking set with me, and that adds a few pounds. So anyways, I don't want to go over all the gear stuff, but I do have this a lunch pack in the front, and it holds 4 water bottles, access to some food pretty easily. So I like it. It adds a good bit. The rack has a flat surface, and I use these Titan straps or whatever they are, and it secures it pretty well. Just it clips on there. Tires are pretty smooth tread, so they roll pretty easily. They're the stock tires that came with it. WTBs, I think Goodyear or something. So I'm getting just a little bit of heel hit right here, so I should move that back, but right now it's good. But the winter gear kit, just a little bit more bulky. Don't know if this will make it to my video or not. We'll see. Beautiful day out. It's about 60 degrees. Of course, each night that I'm out, it's going to get down to about low 30s and upper 20s. So I'm prepared for it, I think. It's been a while since I've camped outdoors in the cold weather, but the gear is insulated. So we'll see how that goes. It should be fine. Heading towards Swain's Lock today, 16.6 in the towpath. Started out at 72.8 at Shepherdstown area, across the river from it. Got to roll. Oh, I'm hoping each battery gets me about 30 miles. So 2 batteries should get me there today, and then I can slip down to 14.3 at the visitor center and recharge, It'll take 3 hours because they'll probably be almost fully depleted. So it'll take almost 3 hours to recharge. But I've got lights if I do have to go back in the dark in the campsite. And Swain's lock area, that campsite, it shouldn't even be used hardly tonight probably. Because not many people get out this time of year, especially to camp. So, well anyways, behind me, that's where it came from. About 3 miles back that way is the Shepherdstown parking lot area. Across from the river from it. Well, gotta go get rolling. Towpath is nice, but you do have to watch out for some of these side areas where the runoff is degraded the sides. So you could go off of that pretty easily. That's a soft area, especially if you're not paying attention. So do watch out for the edges. All right, now we get rolling. Towpath is pretty level, but if you had to get off here, you go up some steep grades on the back roads here. So stay in the towpath. Potomac River down here, flowing downstream. So we're almost to about the 68 mark. There are a few houses along the towpath that you normally don't see when the leaves are on, but you can see how close they are sometimes. Not many of them, but a few. The canal area is pretty well grown up. Some places it would be open with water, but for the most part, it's just an overgrown area. It would take a lot to try to restore it back to water and then maintain it. Haven't really seen where the towpath, where the river has risen much this year yet. I guess as the time year goes on, we'll see some floods, I'm sure. Usually floods 3 to 5 times a year. Last year was pretty moderate, I think just once. But on average, it's been 3 to 5. And sometimes reaching the towpath, but not always. Just depends what section. Coming up to mile 67 area. In this section, you'd use the Shepherdstown hydrograph to check the river level to see if it's flooding. Here's one of the parking areas, if you know how to get there from the back roads. Remind those that ride with you to watch the edges. It's easy to get sidetracked looking around, see what's around while you're riding. Mile 67. But you do be careful, because you have some of the locks are close to the towpath, and they just kind of go right off the edge here without much notice. So you do have to pay attention. Lock 37. National Park Service has put some benches in. They're volunteers. I think they're sponsored for $3,000 a bench. I think it's part of the funds drive that they have. But the benches do make it nice, where you just pull off and rest for a few minutes. Sit down, have something to eat, or just rest up for a few minutes. During the winter time, this is a cold area. It's shaded even right now, pretty much, and snow would settle here when other parts of the towpath would be melted. And I think I got a couple photos of this one, but during the winter time like this, after a snow where nearly everything's defrosted, melted, this will still have some ice on it. Today it's good. It's just a little bit wet, but nothing bad that's going to happen to it. The surface is nice now. They've resurfaced this one about, what, 3 years ago maybe? 4 years? And you can see how it's blended in with the surroundings. So it's in the upper 50s right now, and I should probably put a long sleeve shirt on now because I feel just a little bit of chill. I'm in a short sleeve shirt, shorts, bike shorts too, but pretty comfortable. I normally carry a rain jacket over top of what else I would wear, so I got that stowed away. No rain today, maybe tomorrow a little bit, but I got a heavy jacket behind me strapped in to the rear rack, and I've got a long sleeve shirt packed away. I can get that out quickly, so I might get that out shortly as the sun starts to change direction. '66 area. It all looks the same pretty much when you're out here, unless you have just passed through a certain landmark. I'm glad they have the milepost here. You know where you're at. Towpath is rolling good for being here 3 or 4 years. It's still nice and smooth and hard packed, yet not so hard that it's rough to ride on. Now the areas where they may have worked on it to cut trees or something, it may be dug up a little bit, patched up, but for the most part it's all good, rolling nice and smooth. If you're new to riding bikes on the towpath, you need to conserve yourself. So like if you're trying to put in 20-25 miles, just remember you got to, whichever way you go, you got to turn back, and sometimes it might be just slightly uphill. Right now it's just slightly downhill on the towpath, just ever so slightly. But coming back, you'd notice, if you're tired, your legs tired or something, you definitely notice a little bit of extra resistance, more effort. So make sure you think about it when you're out for a day ride. I like to keep my tent with me, so if I don't have any plans, I can really just stop. So today I'm fully loaded out, everything loaded up for tent camping. Plan is to tent out for a couple nights. Initial plan is to go into DC, maybe hit Mount Vernon trail some. I don't know yet. Haven't been over to the zoo to see that entrance yet, off of the bike trail, off Rock Creek Trail. but maybe do that. Lots of different options. So rolling about 10 miles an hour without pretty much thinking about it. It's not too bad. Coming up to the area around 65 where the towpath has eroded over the years. So at nighttime, be careful. You may not see this. And then right up here is the Dargan boat ramp parking area. They've redone some of these bridges so the vehicles are safer to ride across. I guess they're federal specs or something, they had to upgrade them. They all look nice. So this is Dargan boat ramp area. 65 milepost. Got the river, towpath, and the road that came in from into the Dargan boat ramp. Another area down here, it's eroded back quite a ways. It's about 64 or something. Just maybe half mile past the Dargan boat ramp going east. This is the little crossing they made a few years ago. They've cleared some of the branches that have washed downstream. And they've repaired the towpath surface a little bit where it's eroded from that last washout a couple months ago. Little mud spots like that will slow you down, especially if you're one-handed and videoing with the other. Okay, that's better. Little mud spots when you can't steer right, they slow you down. Keep your balance though. All right, so now about 64 and a half, so about 4 miles in Harper's Ferry at the spiral stairs. 60.7. That's the next landmark to watch for. Got some ice on the water in the canal, so you can see where the shade is most of the day. Gets a little bit of sun there. But we're going to get back in some colder weather starting this weekend a little bit. Definitely overnight. Teens and 20s. So I'll probably go till Saturday. If you're on an e-bike, battery management is probably one of your top concerns, especially on the towpath where you get down in this remote area. You've got to think where you can be able to charge. Well, 14.3 is pretty much guaranteed. As I said, they keep that open year-round. Electric, water. So 14.3. But if you're starting Shepherdstown area, 72.8. If you're on a full charge there, that's about 60 miles pretty much. Of course, then you have Brunswick down at 55. You'd have to check with the bike shop. Last year he said I could go around the back and charge on their outlet. He even said I didn't even need to let him know, but I would. But I don't need to charge. I carry enough batteries now. I carry 2 extra batteries, normally just 1, just depends. But today is sort of an unknown. 60 miles, that's a good distance. I'd be definitely finishing up 1 battery at about 40 miles, 35, 40, somewhere in there, and need to dip into the second battery. But I like to have a spare in the remote area like this. And DC end, I'm not sure where I'd be able to charge if I had to. I mean, that's only 14 miles from the visitor center, so really what I do, I just do like a day ride out of Swain's Lock, 16 mile post, and then I'd be pretty much on a full charge. By the time you get to DC, I'd probably be about half a charge, but then I'd have the other 2 batteries. So it adds some weight though. So I'm carrying an extra 15 pounds for 2 batteries. Of course, I have 2 chargers and an extension cord and a 3-way plug, all ready for 15 amps. So I can, if I needed to, really, I could bring a 3rd charger. But each of the chargers is about a pound. But I only need 2 batteries probably at that end. My 3rd one would be just a backup. So look at that river. Nice. It's Potomac. I don't go swimming it myself. Some people do, but I hear you got to watch the undertow. And down in DC and Great Falls area, you even can't go in the river because of the towpath, the undertows. They'll pull you under. And actually, I think it's illegal to go in the river down there. Up here, it's not. You just have to watch it. But then I don't know if I want to do it because people fishing here, if you lose fishing hooks, you'd be getting hooks in your feet. That's just me. I don't need to. During the warmer months, each of the campsites will have untreated water, not potable. You'd have to make it drinkable yourself, but you can wash with it. Nice view here. Have to be honest, I'm glad I do have the e-bike with me today. Not being on the bike for a while, I'm out of shape. My daytime activities isn't too much with my arthritis, and then being sick earlier this month. Flu, got into what I think was pneumonia, still have some of it. But yeah, I'm going to have the e-bike today, or the next few days. Now, one hand, it's okay. The other hand, you got to think about charging, because this e-bike, it's not geared low enough that when the motor's off, it's super hard pedaling. So it's some resistance still in the motor, but the gearing's just a bit too high. 34, 35 gear inches. I managed to get it down to about 30, 31, but still not near low enough to really pedal with a load like a touring bike. Because a lot of your touring bikes will be anywhere from about 15, 16 gear inches. 17 to 20 is probably about normal. But once you go above 20, 24, then it gets harder. But anyways, e-bike, if you have no motor power, it's really tough pedaling. I just passed Huckleberry campsite and I didn't think to get a photo of it, but it's right along the towpath. It's about 63-mile marker. Usually not too busy this time of year. It gets a little busier during the main travel months. And even the towpath, the foot and bike traffic will be kind of heavy during regular months. Not so much during the winter. Block 36 over there. Towpath changes direction a little bit. Gets back down by the river. There's one of the inlets. Comes in. Inlet 3. A lot of concrete down in there over the years. Looks like. Block 34 will be down here, then you know you're close to Harper's Ferry. So today, this trip, it's not about getting in shape or trying to see how far I can go. I just want to be able to get there, camp, go to the next place, camp, and get back. The exercise and everything will come naturally as I go. '62. If I was on my other bike, I'd be in some lower gears to compensate for the motor here. But it's putting about 24% of the motor. I'm going to assist 2. So 75% is leg work. Five-ton limit. Make sure you're not that heavy. Block 34, 61.7. This is 1 mile from the spiral stairs. The raft buses will drop you off back there if you're paying for a float down the river, and pick you up somewhere down the stream. They've done some repair work on the stone. Watch those edges. They'll go off. Had some pretty high winds the other day. Seen quite a few trees blown over. It's been a few days, a week maybe. So it's time enough that they probably cleared any trees across the trail, towpath. That's the bridge for the Maryland Heights Trail across the road there. Watch the edge. Hi. '61. Watch these edges. They go right off if you're not careful. busy road over there, US 340. Towpath is ever closed. I don't recommend using that road. Try to find a shuttle. But today it's open. There's no forecasted construction in this area except for maybe the spiral stairs over to Harper's Ferry at some point, replacing the spiral stairs, but nothing new on that. But the towpath is fully open and is anticipated to stay open. On your left. On your left. Thank you. Have a good day. Over in the distance there, across the river, that's US 340 bridge. Going from West Virginia, over here to Maryland. And community over there, I think, is that Sandy Hook? Sandy something. Forget. US 340 bridge crosses the Potomac River. Good place for a break. Back here and have a seat. Have a snack. Just past the Weaverton entrance. This is Lock 31. Milepost 58. Right up here. 3 miles to Brunswick. So we're about halfway in between. If you're going to try to enter that area, there's a little parking area along the side of the road off Keep Trist Road, off of Route 340. Off of Route 340. The second exit to Keep Trist Road if you're going east. We're about milepost 55.5 or so, coming up the Brunswick area on the left. Coming up on your left, you're fine. Could go in there towards Brunswick or the next one. The next one's got a bit of a steep incline, so that one would be the easiest one. Parking down here if you're driving in, or just drive into the Mark train station parking lot. Brunswick over here. There's a exit up here into Brunswick on the left, about a couple hundred yards. Trains go through. There's a train yard, so if you go into town you could get stuck for a while. Just depends. I'm gonna keep on rolling today, right up here and show you. Cross these railroad tracks easily at a straight across. Don't go at an angle, you might slip. Full lot with the parking here for the train station, the Mark train station. Up here in the town, next block up at the stoplight, turn right is a Potomac restaurant. So this is Brunswick. There's the train station. It's just a landmark right now. I don't think it's being used. Looks like it's under construction. The town has to decide what they're going to do with it. They had talked about trying to put a charge station down here for e-bikes, rest room, but there's a porta potty down over here underneath the bridge as we just came up. But in town here, if you go up to the stoplight and turn right, there's a Potomac restaurant. If you go up here to the stoplight and turn left, right around across the road at the corner is a bike shop, and then down to your left you got King's Pizza, a brewery, and a snack shop, Beans in the Belfry. And if you keep on going further left, west, in through town, then up through a bike trail, and then up about 2 miles, you'll come up to an upper part, Brunswick Crossing, and it'll have McDonald's, Sheetz, Burger King, a couple things like that. But it's quite a hike to go up there. It gets kind of steep on the bike trail. Right now it's not too busy, but trains come through here. Normally it's a busy train yard. Trains could block there or block over here behind me, but there's a lot of cars here from using the train today. So straight ahead and then down to your left will be continuing east on the towpath. It's about a mile worth of shared gravel dirt packed road, which people go down to the family campground that's owned by the town but managed by River and Trail, I think, or something like that. Watch the potholes. There will be shared vehicles on this road. Probably not so much this time of year, but other times it'll get dusty, and from a lot of traffic use to the campground. Well, from Shepherdstown parking lot area where I stopped to park, going about 18 miles so far to Brunswick here. And the batteries are right there. It's Definitely used up the top third percent. Approaching the halfway mark. So an assist 2. Well, 3 now, but it was 2 all the way down. So I'm thinking it's going to be about 35 miles with this battery in assist 2 the way I was going. Right now they have this section pretty flat, and it was pretty rough. But if they add more hard, big gravels, it'll get rough again. But right now it's rolled nice and smooth. Not many potholes at all. I like it. Hope it stays this way. The new canal bridge will be about 2.5 miles up here, which they replaced back in August 2024. They replaced it after 6 years of being washed out. Got washed out in 2018. So you'll see it here in about, well, 2.5 miles. There's a commercial campground down here. They used to have pretty decent roll-in rates for about $10 for bicyclists, but I don't think they do that anymore. It was $17 to $25 just to set a tent up. I haven't camped there for about 2 years. Last time I camped was about almost $20. They do have a shower restroom area. Just past 54 mile marker. The little Catoctin Creek is up here. It's the one that the new bridge is over. That's 52.5 up here. But you'll roll across there and not even think about it anymore, especially if you haven't been through here. It's just a bridge. New bridge. It'll look kind of narrow, but I think it's like about 7-8 feet wide. But it's wide enough. It's wide like the towpath almost. Working on the tracks over here. Hello? All right, done 20 miles so far since noon. 20 miles since noon, 3 hours. It's 3 o'clock. Not a great speed, but I guess I'm stopping too much. Catoctin Creek Aqueduct. This is the lander area of almost milepost 51. There's a small parking area. There's a boat ramp down here. It's on an angle, so be careful crossing that. Next up is Point of Rocks, milepost 48. So about 3 miles. Route 15 bridge is over there at Point of Rocks. Campsite here, Bald Eagle, I think it's called. Yeah, Bald Eagle hiker biker campsite, about milepost 50. But it's right across from railroad tracks, so have your earplugs. And the river could come up, not tonight, but it could come up and flood that area pretty easily. It's been 3 months since I've been on the bike to do a little trip like this, so I'm sort of feeling it right now. I mean, even though I've got the e-bike assisting me some, I'm not too active usually at home. This is about the most active I get. About 12 miles to Marble Quarry campsite. Might stop there tonight. That'd be 35-mile mark, which isn't too bad, I guess, for being back on the bike for off 3 months. Feeling the tiredness a little bit here, so of course if I didn't stop there, kept going to Swains, that'd be another almost 25 miles. I think we're close to 49 mileposts somewhere here. This is one of the canal quarters locks. I get a view there. Can you see that? You can rent those. I think there's 6 or 7 that are primitive style like that. And there's one down at Swains that has AC and heat. But you need your own bedding, linen, pillows or whatever. I think they're about $200 a night, somewhere in there. That blue bridge over there is the Route 15 bridge. It's a busy, busy highway. That's the train going to the tunnel. The hydrograph down here meter is right there. They're probably checking on the hydrograph meter for Point of Rocks. This is the milepost 48 area. If you want to go over here, once the train stops, you'd have to go through the parking lot, then up a little canal bridge, which is mixed traffic. Then there's a little park over there. It's got a water fountain during the normal years, public water, and drop toilet. You'd exit there, but I'm going to keep on going. That's that little bridge you would cross from the parking lot if you wanted to go over to that little park. So this is milepost 48 about. Next stop from here would be 42, which is the Monocacy Aqueduct. And then after that it'd be White's Ferry, about milepost 36. Calico Rocks, I think it's about milepost 47. I've not stayed there. I usually head more towards Marble Quarry, 38. Looking both ways, and we'll stop up here and rest for a bit. It's a day camp up here, day park, and a boat ramp. Alrighty, well, I'm tired. Haven't done work like this for a while. It's not easy getting back into it. All right, well, this is a day park. Can't camp here, but you can sit here and relax. That's what I'm going to do right now. Boat ramp down there. Potomac looks pretty still here. I mean, the current's still going pretty good. You can see the reflections there. So this is about milepost 44 or something. Just left the Nolan's Ferry picnic area, rest area, milepost 44.6. So about 6 more miles for today, and I'll call it a night. Set up the tent and relax for a while. That'd be about 35 miles today, and that's plenty for a first day back on the bike after 3 months. Then tomorrow we'll see how far I go and what I do into DC, or towards DC. Next place after that for me will be Swain's Lock, if I do camp there. Might just make it a short day tomorrow. Camp there, go down and charge up the batteries, and be all ready for the next day. .44. Indian Flats campsite. Coming up to the Monocacy Aqueduct, About milepost 42. To watch these uneven spaces, really shouldn't be riding it, should be walking it. Those little depressions there could throw you if you're not careful. It's a ways down there. So that's the Monocacy River, Monocacy Aqueduct. Water would have flowed through here for the barges. Of course, the sun setting, a little glare there. So I got off and pushed. One-handed using the holding the camera, and one on the handlebar doesn't quite work. It does to a certain point until you come across one of those depressions and they can throw you. I'm not going to take the risk of falling down in the aqueduct. Why is it every time we're through here we want to take pictures or videos? It hasn't changed any, just the surroundings some. So here we are. Just past the Monocacy Aqueduct, and this is the turnoff out to the parking lot. But if you keep going up to the Dickerson, it's about 1.8 miles and you turn right. But it's uphill. Dickerson Market has fried chicken and some other things on their menu. It's a little store that they have a little bit of takeout. They have a picnic table outside. You can eat your food and then come back down. But their chicken's good. I like their chicken. I'm not sure. I think they might have soup, but not a lot of selection. But they do have a breakfast menu. Well, keep on going. If I was here earlier, I'd probably go up and get some fried chicken. But I'll be staying down here in milepost 38. It's about 6 miles away. 4 miles away. Of course, then a little bit further is White's Ferry. They have White's Ferry Grill with some subs or burgers, and I think they still have a morning breakfast sandwich. And they're closed on Mondays, but I think they're open every other day. So nothing's really changed since the last time I've been through here. The direction changes. It follows the river, so it snakes a little bit left and right and so forth. So sometimes you're riding into the sun, sometimes you're not riding in the sun. So I'm wearing a baseball cap with a bill over it so it blocks the sun from my eyes. Of course, I have my helmet on just in case. It's up here directly into the sun, so you won't see it very well from this angle. It's lock 27. This is a nice stretch down through here. Of course, it can flood during high water. Coming up to the Dickerson power plant. It'll be on your left. Of course, Potomac River's still on your right. That's the canal, of course. Warmer months, you'll see some turtles. Too early for them yet. It's only the end of February. Lucky we have some 50-degree days. Cold at night though, but I'll be in the tent, insulated quilt, air mattress and so forth. So I'm good to down to about 20 some comfortably. Could go lower. 0-degree quilt. I went to a quilt instead of a sleeping bag. I can control my inside temperature better. Ice still on the canal through here. Of course, it gets shaded. Doesn't get much sun through here. .41. Outpost 40 area. A mile and a half is the campsite, Marble Quarry. All right, so that's the end of here. Tree's still standing. Surprised. Look at that. It's a big one. Block 26. .39. And I can see a glimpse of the campsite. That's a welcome site for today. Just 100 yards ahead. Marble Quarry, hiker biker. Let's set up tent. Home sweet home for tonight. Marble Quarry. Boiling water for some rice. Could have mashed potatoes, but I'm going to have some rice tonight with some baked beans. Throw some pink salmon in there. And after I get done with that, I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I've got some breakfast bars. Morning, I have some oatmeal, more breakfast bars. Yeah, it's boiling. That's good. That's good for the rice. All right, now to put the rice in.